What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and it's that time of year again. Today, we're going to be talking about the 10 best guns of 2025. What the f is this thing? It's been a great year for guns, and this list was actually a pleasure for me to make. It's very rare that there's years like 2025 where there have been so many great firearms. Usually there's a lot of disappointments, there's some mediocre releases, and most of the time the anticipation of guns from SHOT Show doesn't play out like it did in 2025, but this year was different. This year we've had more great guns than the last 3 or 4 years combined. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, man, what a great time to be alive. So today we're going to go over the 10 best of 2025. Now, not all the guns on the list were going to be released in 2025, but I did all the reviews in 2025, so it counts. All these guns are going to be reliable, accurate, and pretty good for the money as well. So if you're interested in a pistol, a rifle, maybe a shotgun, this is a good place to start. With all that being said, let's get right into it here with number 10, and we're going to be talking about one of the best budget guns on the market today, the Tisas PX9 Duty. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, the Tisas really took me by surprise. This was certainly one of the more interesting guns of the year because I didn't anticipate this being as good as it actually is. I picked this up for the best of 300 list that I did. We bought maybe 5 or 6 $300 9mm pistols, and out of those, only really one made a big splash, and that was this guy right here. I don't try Tisas a lot, but maybe I should because it seems like every time I do it, they sort of stand out from the Turkish crowd. There's a lot of Turkish clones on the market today, whether it be shotguns, pistols, MP5s, and usually they're just subpar copies of their counterparts. That being said, this, in my opinion, is not. This is like the Wish.com VP9. This really is an impressive pistol. A 4.5-inch 9mm striker-fired pistol with a polymer frame. Where it separates itself from a lot of the other pack, especially budget guns under $300, is the feature set, reliability, and performance. Comes with a threaded barrel, which is nice, fiber optic front with a blacked out rear. It also comes with an optics mounting system, front slide serrations, a Picatinny rail, a nice big trigger guard, an extremely good trigger, as you can see here. Very, very similar to the VP9. It has a flat face trigger, it breaks around 4 pounds, and the reset is extremely quick, so you can get those fast follow-up shots. The grip itself is very VP9 reminiscent as well, with not only back straps, but it also has grip inserts on the side panels. On top of that, we have a mag well, and we have a very low bore axis. Incredible gun, incredible trigger, incredible price, so good entry for number 10. Now, the gun could be higher on the list. That being said, again, Turkish guns have a little bit of a interesting track record. I've only had one copy of this, so track record does carry some weight when I do my reviews, and if a gun came out of nowhere and I've only had one copy, I don't completely trust it yet. Now, in at number 9, going from budget to way out there in the stratosphere, we have the Dark Forge Wraith. Now, the Dark Forge Reaper, its twin brother, actually made my best pistols list, but I hadn't shot this one yet. Over the past 2 weeks, we've had over 1,200 rounds through the Dark Forge Wraith with tremendous results. This gun is a 9mm 2011 pistol. It has an aluminum grip, which is one of the most comfortable on the market today. 4.6-inch slide, very similar to the Atlas Athena. It has some incredible slide serrations with some very beautiful slide work. A very, very low optics mount, probably the lowest one I've ever seen. Magpul included. Ambi controls, flat face trigger, which is better than anything you've ever felt in your life. 2-pound brake with a very, very quick reset. It has an extended slide stop. We have a combat hammer, but most importantly, we have 8 ports in the barrel, making it one of the lowest recoiling firearms I've ever shot in my life. Shooting this next to my single port comp guns, which were previously the lowest recoil guns I've ever felt in my life, the 8 ports, that V8 stack, really, really does feel great. It doesn't really kick to one side or the other. It really does just keep the gun super flat. Now, it's an extremely expensive pistol, coming in around $6,000, and they're very hard to get, which is why it's at number 9 instead of number 1. I'd have to say this is extremely impressive. There is no more fun handgun on the planet than a 2011, and if you haven't experienced one, you really should try it out. In at number 8, we have one of the best shotguns of the year, and that is going to be the Mossberg 940 Pro. Wow, that was a cool gun. I picked that up for around $800, and it has been nothing but reliable. We have hundreds of shells through that gun now, between 8-shot and all the way up to buck, and my nephew actually ran some slugs through it just to try it out, and it's unbelievably reliable. It comes with a 7+1 tube. It has a built-in optics mounting system. It's a very cool gray Cerakote with enlarged controls, and it's very ergonomic to load. The shell lifter feels very nice, and the recoil and pulse on it is great considering it's a gas-operated gun. The Mossberg 930s were pretty good for the money, but they had some reliability issues, and the 940 really perfected the design in my personal opinion. Coming in at around $800, it's one of the most affordable semi-automatic tactical shotguns while not sacrificing reliability, durability, or shootability. Really impressive design, and if you want to get probably the best tactical shotgun from America today, the 940 is the way to go. One of my favorite parts about the gun is going to be the forend. The forend actually has extremely comfortable grip and has mounting systems to add a light, which used to be just a nightmare to do. These days with a semi-automatic shotgun where the forend does not reciprocate, and on top of that they come with M-lock on either side, it's just so easy to add a weapon light. And for a home defense shotgun or a tactical shotgun or even a patrol gun, that is paramount. So good on them for making the gun more ergonomic and more modular for the modern day.
Come at me, bro.
In at number 7, my favorite .22 rifle in a long time. That's going to be the Ruger 1022 Magpul Hunter. Now, this gun's not necessarily revolutionary. You basically take the best .22 action on the market today and you put it in a Magpul stock. Didn't take a lot to figure out that would be a good idea, but as it turns out, it was. The Magpul stock is incredible. It feels great. The ergonomics of it are superior to almost any other stock that you can get. On top of that, again, it comes just like the Mossberg with enough M-lock slots to put a weapon light on, and it comes with a heavy target barrel that when we shot it was almost 1M away. An extremely accurate gun, able to push out to 200 yards, and for a .22, that's extremely impressive. I gotta tell you, the 1022 has been doing something right for a long time, and they still are. They have hundreds of models, but this one really speaks to me. It looks great, it shoots great, the ergonomics are awesome, it's very accurate and reliable. It's everything you'd want in a ranch rifle. All for only around $600, which again, is extremely impressive considering for another couple hundred, you could buy a giant pail of 10,000 rounds of .22 and shoot it all the way to the apocalypse and beyond. In at number 6, the CZ P10C Ported. Take one of the best handguns on the market today for the money, and you add a single port comp. That's how you make people happy. Now imagine if you could do that while still making it reliable and accurate and not increasing the price too much. That's exactly what CZ did with the CZ P10C Ported. Now this gun is a 4-inch striker-fired polymer frame pistol with an optics mounting system, steel night sights, and a single port comp in the barrel and slide to reduce the recoil. The gun already was one of the best guns on the market with the great ergonomics, the really good trigger, the big trigger guard, the low bore axis, and low recoil, with now even lower recoil. I feel like an infomercial. It's got 30% less recoil. But for real, these guns come in at under $500. If you're looking for one gun to do it all, this one is really one you should look at.
Teddy reload.
Now there's a couple options out there on the market today for a one gun do all, but the CZ P10C Ported probably does it for less money than all the others while still maintaining the performance. Super shootable up close, extremely accurate, and again, the recoil and pulse on this is significantly lower than I even expected it to be, considering they just cut a single port comp in the barrel and the slide instead of actually adding one, which usually adds a little bit more recoil and pulse, but in this one, super shootable. On top of that, we have almost 1,000 rounds through it now with no cleaning, so at least the carbon buildup on this particular model has not been an issue at all. They have a really good optics mounting system out of the box as well, and I'm rocking a standard RMR Type 2 on here, and it has worked great for me. Now, I'm a little bit biased. I love CZ, and I've been shooting the P10s for over a decade, so to get one now comped out of the factory really made my day. In at number 5, we have what I think is the best tactical shotgun for the money in the world right now, and that is going to be the Beretta A300 Patrol. Now, normally I am all America all day, but I can't argue with the ergonomics, the good looks, and the shootability of the A300. The A300 Patrol gives you everything that you pretty much get with the 1301. I know you don't get the blink system, but most people can't shoot that fast anyway, and the A300 does it for almost half the cost. A gas-operated semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun with an 18-inch barrel and a 7+1 capacity gives you enough versatility to do whatever you want. You could bird hunt in a pinch if you have to. You could use it for plinking. You could go out and shoot a match with it, but it's really designed specifically for self-defense and particularly a patrol gun. If you're out on patrol and you're still rocking shotguns, this is a pretty good option for you. You have M-lock rails on the side for lights. It has one of the most comfortable forends and one of the most comfortable stocks on the market. It has an optics mounting system, and it it comes in a very cool set of colors, all again for less than $1,000. I personally picked up mine for even lower than the Mossberg 940 at around 750 bucks. Now, Beretta also has a track record for arguably making the best shotguns ever, and they are in fact the oldest gun company, and they've been doing it 500 years, and I really think the A300 Patrol is the best they've done yet. Now, this gun also happens to be made in America, so you can get the 7+1 right out of the factory instead of working with compliance issues, which is another huge plus. Super reliable, super shootable, and the 12 gauge can take down anything in North America, so if you're looking for a boomstick, it's a great choice. Now, in at number 4, we have my Noisy Cricket. This is the Bodyguard 2.0 Performance Center. Now, I've talked about this a lot. It's maybe been in 10 videos this year, but it's because I don't change my carry gun too much, and this year I've started carrying the Bodyguard more and more. Now, I still carry my shield most, but for times when I really want a tiny little gun, this is as low as I'm willing to go because I can get a super lightweight gun that doesn't sacrifice any performance. It has a polymer frame with a striker fire design with a very, very good trigger, a phenomenal grip, especially for a 380, an extremely low bore axis, super shootable again with a single port comp, and steel night sights out of the factory. You get a 10 or 12+1. Personally, I carry the 12+1, but I do in fact carry this gun at least a couple of times a week. That really tells you how I feel about the firearm. Extremely reliable, and again, the most shootable 380 I've ever had. There's a lot of good 380 pistols on the market today. The Ruger Mac is good, the Security 380 is good, even the SIG P365 380 is a pretty good choice. That being said, none of them shoot like the Bodyguard do, and the Bodyguard is only 10 ounces and less than an inch wide. It really is a magic trick, and I am extremely impressed considering the Bodyguard 1.0 was an absolute dumpster fire in my personal opinion, and I never would have carried that gun, and going from a donkey to this unicorn is quite an achievement. For less than $500, you can get the best 380 on the market, all the capacity and shootability you need, and the only thing you really sacrifice is a little penetration. That's up to you on whether or not you want to carry the 380, but if you do, the Bodyguard's the way to go. In at number 3, the CZ Shadow 2 Carry. Now, you guys know how I feel about the Shadow 2 Carry. It was the number 1 on my so far list, and the reason for that is because the Shadow 2 is one of the best handguns made in the last 50 years. And this one is a Shadow 2 designed specifically for concealed carry. For those like me, for example, who've shot them in competition for years, and you want to carry a slightly smaller and safer variant. The Shadow 2 brings a 4-inch barrel, a double single action design with a phenomenal trigger, but instead of a safety, now we have a decocker, and we sacrifice just a little bit of trigger pull for a drop safe gun, which I think is a good compromise considering it's designed for carry and duty use, and you're going to be more likely to be bumping it around than you would if it's just sitting in a competition holster for 2 or 3 hours and back in the bag. Now, the difference between a safety and a decocker is back one in, and now I want to put it in my holster. All I have to do is hit that decocker, and then I'm decocked into a safe spot, and I can holster the gun. The Shadow 2 Carry comes with all the same great features that you like out of the Shadow 2, the same ergonomics, and it shoots about the same as well, which is crazy considering it weighs around 30 ounces as opposed to 42. I personally really like the double single action design for concealed carry because I can carry one in the tube with that long double action trigger pull, and it just makes my junk feel so safe when I carry it around. On top of that, the gun is extremely pretty, so if you're going to a barbecue, you can show that bitch off. It's like driving a 67 Corvette that's a resto mod. People like how it looks, and when you get into it, it runs pretty quick too. Overall, I love the looks, I love the shootability, I love the design, but at about $1,000, I know it's not for everybody, so it sits here at number 3. In at number 2, we have what I would consider to be the best pistol caliber carbine release probably in the last 5 years, and that is going to be the Springfield Kuna. Now, I don't love Springfield, and they put out a lot of duds, but they hit it out of the park every once in a while, usually with their imports from HS products, and the Kuna is no different. Designed for military and police use, and is used as such, and you can tell by the build quality and overall design of the Kuna that it has definitely seen some shit. Now, the Kuna is a 5-inch barrel pistol caliber carbine with a roller delayed design, very similar to the MP5, but where it differs is going to be in modern ergonomics. Basically a baby of an MP5 and an AR-15, but it won't cost you arm and a leg and a liver and a left nut. This gun only comes in at around $1,000, which if you're not in the PCC game is actually pretty affordable considering the MP5 is 60 plus years old and it's still 3 times that price. The safety's easy to use, the trigger's phenomenal. It is extremely reliable. We put it through a 1,000-round review and a mud test, and we dropped the damn thing on concrete, and although the brace failed, the gun itself kept on kicking. Although it has slightly more recoil than the MP5, it also has less weight as well, at only around 5 pounds, making it super easy to carry and definitely a contender for the best PDW on the market today. It's lighter and shoots better and has less weird shit than the Chris Vector, and it's more affordable than the MP5 with a better set of controls. Although I can't believe I'm going to say this, it would be hard to argue that it's not the best pistol caliber carbine on the market, especially for the modern day citizen who's looking for something for self-defense or just plinking on the range, or maybe you just want a really fun two-gun gun. Either way, it's a good way to go. Now, there are going to be a couple honorable mentions for this video. The first one going to be the Terran Tactical Genesis 12. Now, this gun's too expensive to be for most people, but if you ever get your chance to shoot one, holy shit. Low recoil, extremely fast 12 gauge with a ton of capacity, and man, do you feel like John Wick when you shoot it. The Glock Koa is a very good gun as well, and if you're looking for the standard same old, you can pop over there with a brand new optic. The Koa is a phenomenal optic, but it's held back a little bit by the Glock 19 and the fact that they've already discontinued it, so you can't get it anyway. Then I also want to mention the PSA Saber AR-10. That gun was phenomenal. My little bitty pirate gun. I love that thing so much, and I almost put it on this list. It looks cool. It shoots great. It's 12.5308. What's not to love? That being said, at number 1, that is going to be the Canik Prime. Now, my Canik Prime's missing an optic currently because I just put it on a review gun, but I've been shooting this really consistently over the past year now, and we have tons of rounds through this. Now, the Prime is probably the best mix of features that you can get in 2025, and probably the best example of guns from 2025 and how they look differently than even guns from 2020. A lot of these features on guns like this, and a lot of guns that have been released this year, have been popular on competition guns for a very long time, but the law enforcement and tactical industry doesn't really jump on board things too quick, but comps and red dots work, and now we finally figured it out. This gun comes with a 3.5-inch barrel, a triple port comp, really cool slide cuts, and probably some of the best sights you can get on a handgun. It has an HD front with an orange tritium dot, a rear tritium sight, which is also steel and serrated. An incredible trigger, probably one of the best triggers on a handgun, especially for a striker-fired gun, and it has the same trigger face as the Canik Combat, which is great, another amazing trigger. Big trigger guard for glove hands, which would make me a lot more likely to carry this gun in the winter, and definitely the best grip that Canik's ever put out. Very sleek, very nice to use, and a ton of texture with an included magwell and a very low bore axis with an included RMS pattern optic mount that you get right out of the factory, and you don't have to wait and send somebody an email and hope it shows up. You can just throw one on. This gun's super lightweight, super small, and has a 17-round capacity. Think a little bit smaller than a Glock 19, but shoots and has the same capacity as a Glock 17. It's quite an achievement in and of itself, but add that to the fact these guns can be found for around $600 to $800, making it one of the best buys on the market today as well. If you can find one of these at your local gun store, you pick one of these up and you think you like it, I would recommend that you go out and at least try it, because I think you'll be surprised at how much better you can shoot something like a Canik with its pre-cocked striker trigger over a classic Glock, let's say, because the trigger is basically half the weight, so it just takes a lot of the skill issue out of the equation, which is really good for new shooters. Now, some people may not like a lighter trigger, especially for concealed carry, and I completely understand that, but if you have a solid holster, solid gun safety, that should not be an issue. Now, along with that 1,000-round review, we also did a mud test, which it worked very well, and we've also done durability tests on this also, and it is tougher than it looks. Probably one of the best striker-fired guns in the market today, and I think Canik actually makes these in America as well, which makes them even better. Overall, I can't say enough about the Canik Prime, and I think it deserves this spot, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think I missed some good guns this year? Because it's certainly possible. Make sure to put your list in the comment section below as well. I'd love to check it out. Viewing guns now for 10 years. In January, it will be a decade that I've been doing this, and a lot of you guys have been subscribed for so many years, and I really appreciate it. This really is my dream life, and I couldn't do it without you. So every video I try to give back, and I try to give you the most honest gun content I can. It's the least I can do for allowing me to shoot guns for a living. So thank you guys so much, and I hope 2026 is even better. Please like and subscribe. Please help out our Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.